have a leads problem, you have a systems problem. We talk to a lot of home service business owners and they say a lot of the same stuff. One of which is, I feel like I'm just burning money on ads. I feel like I'm just wasting money on leads. And in a lot of cases, they're actually right. But the reason they're wasting money on leads isn't because the leads don't work. It's because there's no system on the back end that helps turn these leads into booked appointments, customers, and then repeat customers. So today, I want to explore how you can fix and just tighten up your lead generation, and then what systems you can put on the back end to make your life easier to help convert more of these people. So number one, when it comes to how you're advertising, right, you have to pick your platform. You have to understand what the goal is. So if you want to capture that high intent, I'm somewhat ready to do business and I need to move now, then you want to lean more towards Google, PPC, or local service ads, depending on which one you want to lock into. And I'll do a video explaining those two, but when it comes to high intent search, we love Google local service ads. They're great. But then if you're in an area where maybe people just don't really know that you exist, or there isn't a lot of search traffic, that means that you need to build brand awareness. And that's where platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn could be beneficial for your advertising dollars. So first is you have to define the goal. So if the goal is brand awareness, choose Facebook or LinkedIn. If the goal is to capture those high intent, ready to buy leads, then Google LSA or Google PPC is going to be a better choice for you. Keep in mind, one is not more expensive than the other. You just want to define a good budget for yourself. We like to think that anywhere from 10 to 15% of overall top line revenue should actually go right back into marketing and growing the business. But that's on you. That's a decision you have to make. That's just what we decide to do, right? So defining the goal. Now, once you've got the goal, lead capture is important. Okay. And you want to gather people's information and you want to engage them quickly. So you have to have your capture dialed in. What happens when a lead comes through the door? You should have an automated system that's being able to intake these leads and start qualifying them. It's 2025. These are not difficult systems to set up. We can help you build them in a relatively short amount of time. But our typical intake process goes like this, where a lead comes through the door, they immediately receive a text message and they immediately receive an email. The text message is conversational. So it's not just oh, thanks for filling this out, we'll talk to you during business hours. It's, hey, Miss Mary, thanks for filling out the form. What can we help you with? Because they gave you their name, they gave you their information. So if you set the systems up the right way, and we use Go High Level for this, if you set the systems up the right way, then these people, you can send out personalized text messages to these people and make your approach more personable and less robotic, even though you are literally using a robot, right? So they get that text message that says, hey, Miss Mary, what can we help you out with? And then they also get an email. The email virtually says the same thing, but it also has some additional education inside of it. So it might go into what it's like to work with you, what are next steps. It might have a link where they can book an estimate appointment themselves right there on your calendar. There's a variety of different things you could do, but point is, you should be using the email to educate people and start building that trust and authority with them via the email. So lead comes in, they get the conversational text message, they get the email. Then a little bit of time goes by and we set up what's called a call connect, all right? Where the phone is going to dial out to them automatically. And if they answer the phone, it's going to connect you guys together so you can have a conversation and attempt to book an estimate appointment or close the sale, depending on what industry you're in, okay? So that's how you can manage your lead intake, and that's going to increase your closes by multiple percentage points, because typically if a person fills out a form online and you don't get to them within 5 minutes, you're missing your best shot and you're now 21 times less likely to close the deal. So we got to move quickly, and hitting them with a text message, hitting them with an email, and then giving them a phone call that could also have an automated voicemail drop on it is just going to make your life a lot easier and get a lot of people in the door and booking more estimate appointments with you. So that's step 2, is that you need to have good lead intake. Now, step 3 is that you need good follow-up. I'm not Mr. Wolf of Wall Street, right? I don't believe that everybody is just going to close on the first time or the first communication. I believe that sometimes people do legitimately need to think about it. I think that sometimes people fill out forms online and they get a little nervous almost when a person reaches out quickly, because they're like, oh, well, I mean, I was ready, but I wasn't ready right now. So you need to communicate with them, because people have this weird buildup. They have this anxiety around forms, around handling business, about touching base with people. We have to understand the psychology of how customers work. They want the thing, but more often than not, they're worried that maybe it's expensive. They're worried that maybe they can't afford it, but they know that they want the thing. And sometimes our human brain says, the longer I put this off, the more that for some reason it'll be cheaper. For some reason, if they don't tell me no, I can't be disappointed. It's stuff like that, right? It's a weird mentality. Anyway, I went off track, but you need to have a follow-up sequence in place to reach out to those people who do not immediately get started, all right? So you need what I like to call a reactivation drip sequence. And that's just going to be pretty much an infinity loop of long-term texts and emails that are going to go out on it could start off on a day-to-day basis, then every other day, then every 3 days, then every week, then every other week, then every month, depending on how long they've been on the list, right? But when you have these consistent text messages going out, these consistent emails going out, the consistent voicemail drops going out that are just all designed to engage a person and say, hey, we still have your information. You said you were interested in getting this service, or you said you had some questions that you needed help with. What can we do to help you? And you would be surprised how many people from days ago, weeks ago, months ago, even years ago will respond and be like, you know what? I am ready. I am finally ready, and I want to do this, this, and this. Okay. In fact, some of them might even appreciate that you consistently reached out to them because you stayed top of mind. So yes, you're going to get some people who are going to be like, I hate those text messages. Don't text me. Don't call me. Don't anything, right? Those aren't your customers anyway. So it's actually good news. You wanted to get these people off of your list, right? So it's not the end of the world when a person is angry at your marketing. People hate commercials. So why would your commercials be any different? People don't like to feel like they're being sold something, but we are selling something. So some folks will just have to get over it. So if people are cursing you out and saying, get me off the list, have an automation in place, remove them from the list. Life is good and fine. And then continue to push, because all you need are 1 or 2 people every time you send these text messages out to say, you know what? Yes, I am interested. How can I get on the calendar? So then the last thing that you want to do to really lock in with these people that you're generating, right? It's one thing when you close a sale from a lead, but now that you've built a relationship with them, you want to leverage them as much as possible for new business. The low end of doing that is setting up an automation where you ask them to leave you a Google review. And getting more Google reviews is very powerful. People do business with folks that other people know, like, and trust. So having a bunch of Google reviews makes life very easy for you once you get the ball rolling. But if you want to take it a step further of how you can leverage these people, now you want to train your salespeople to start asking for referrals. Ask for referrals and have those people actually reach out to them and say, hey, I've got someone that's going to be reaching out to you to take care of your lawn or to take care of your roof or something like that. His name is da-da-da with ABC, right? Once you kind of build a relationship with that person and they start referring you to other people, and there's a psychology behind this too, right? Where if a person feels good about a purchase and they want to justify it, then they'll have no issue giving that information to other people and saying, hey, you should use these people too. It's a way that they justify their purchase. So you have to say to yourself, I have to ask more people for referrals, because if I can get more referrals, those are free leads. And that's how you take one closed lead, right? Because you're going to close anywhere from 30 to 45% of your leads on average, right? But once you close those leads, you can multiply just how valuable they are with the reviews, with potential repeat business because they're in the reactivation campaign, and with referrals because these people are going to give you free leads that are already somewhat warm and ready to do business because this person reached out to them and they know they have a problem that you can solve. So those are the areas where you can clean things up. That's how you start getting more money out of your leads, right? You're burning money on leads because you don't know how to work them. There's no system for working them. And if this sounds like something that you're dealing with in your business right now, where the phone feels like it might be ringing, but you're not sure, you can't tell where your last deal came from, or you feel like you're just putting a lot of money out on ads and getting no return, we want to offer you a free strategy session with us so that we can take a look at what it is you've got going on. We can look at your lead generation, we can look at your strategy, we can look at everything in between and give you a roadmap on how you can clean things up, streamline operations, get more leads in the door, and convert more of them into customers and repeat customers. So I've been Charles, I'm with Become the Authority, and we'll see you on the next one.